Oh my gosh, this is awesome. All right, rocking it up, turning it up. Got to hear myself talk to myself. Hello, 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 hello. Got some music going on there, people. Okay, listen to it in my headset. Making sure I'm tuned in and tuned on. Everything's good. Well, this is officially KUHSdenver.com, and I'm your host, Lowell Whiteman of 360 Performance Talk with Josh Cuddly Bear Copeland. Josh, just give me now. Can you hear me in your headset? Can you hear me? Okay. Let me...
Hear the music.
You should be able to hear me in your headset, too. No, yes, no. Okay. We got the music in there. And I got the music in mine. All right, so let's pod down the music and just talk about not Earth, Wind, and Fire, even though I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was what was going on with the song September. But we're now here today with 360 Performance Talk. We're on Facebook Live right now. We're also on our wonderful new Ustream connection, Ustream Pro. And I'm excited about the technology from the standpoint of multiple platforms. Josh, you may not have known this, but we are now on Facebook Live, Vimeo, Periscope. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Simultaneously.
Nice.
Simultaneously. So as we move forward in our technology era, we'll be able to touch base with our insightful messages and interpretation of sports and sports performance in an even grander way. So with that being said, let's talk about week 3 in the NFL. And Josh, chime in with your thoughts. I know we talked a little bit just a minute ago about Cleveland Browns versus the New York Jets. They came away with the win, and they discovered a couple of things. They discovered the spirit of a champion in their quarterback, Mayfield, who came into the game in the late in the second quarter, I believe, and they were down 14-0. 14-0. Final score, 21-14. They finished. So the kid, the rookie, did his job, as he stated. He's from the University of Oklahoma, where he was a known champion. But here's why I'm focusing on Mayfield. Oklahoma wasn't his first school. When he went to college for football, Oklahoma was not the first place he landed. He was at 3 colleges before he ended up at Oklahoma. He had less than 2 years to make his imprint. So I'm wondering, what is his mindset as a champion? Because he had to go through lots of changes, lots of adversity, and now here he is in the NFL, gets a shot last night, and comes through and performs.
Yeah.
Wins the game 21-0 after a big drought. The last game the Browns won was in 2016 on a field goal at the last seconds. So, been a big drought. And yet here they are, putting it together, last night in a great win. Now, that's a great, opener for the rest of the week 3, festivities. One of those is, I don't know if you've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick lately, the quarterback, for Tampa Bay. He came out for a press conference last week, the end of week 2. He's got a big beard. Your beard is small compared to this. His like fluffs out here and then goes like in one of these kind of things. Like he can nest birds in it.
Right.
It's that, and I'm not being negative. I'm saying it's a very positive thing. He's got a good beard, but he comes out in this black and white baseball jacket, no shirt on, zipped down to like his navel, got some bling on, and he borrowed all this stuff from teammates in the locker room before he came out. And sunglasses, mirrored sunglasses. So Fitz has his own swagger. So Ryan Fitzpatrick last week went 27 for 33 attempts with an 81, almost 82% completion record, through 4 touchdowns. Quarterbacks are breaking records. The Kansas City kid, who's a rookie, he had, I believe, 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
As a rookie. So Peyton Manning, I think, is beginning to take a back seat to a lot of his quarterbacks. And Mahomes is the kid I'm talking about, Pat Mahomes at Kansas City. He was 23 for 28. Oh, sorry, not 5, 6.
6 touchdowns?
6 touchdowns.
Wow.
326 yards. So he outsurpassed Fitzpatrick. So last week was a big week for quarterbacks as far as the NFL is concerned. And Andrew Luck is back. So there's a lot. About my theory is this: it's going to be an exciting season for the NFL. Very exciting season.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I don't want to take anything away from the drama that you're going to be going through, which is not a bad thing. I think it's exciting. And Josh is here to talk about not only the championship mindset or the champion mindset, but also to talk about how that affects his life as a person. I mean, this is major stuff, dude. So we're going to get into that in a minute. There are some announcements the NFL has made with some changes. Let's see here. The quarterback Mahomes. Okay, talked about him enough. Ryan Fitzpatrick, week 2. Yeah. Okay, enough of this. NFL, I've had enough of you. With one exception. They donated $1 million to the Hurricane Florence relief effort. So the NFL put their money where their mouth is. So Mr. Goodell stepped up and he states it this way. He says, the NFL family sends its support to the individuals, families, and communities affected by the hurricane. And he goes on to say, the natural disasters like these are devastating. As communities in and around the Carolinas recover and rebuild, we hope these funds will provide some measure of relief in the days and weeks and months ahead. But it's got that right. It's not going to be days. It'll be more like weeks and months with what we're hearing about what Hurricane Florence did. So, NFL, hats off to you. $1 million to the hurricane relief funds. Man, I'm excited. One of my favorite people's with me. He's in the hunt, literally in the hunt, October the 5th. In New Orleans, you have to say that right.
Yeah.
New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans. Get down there. It's some crayfish, jambalaya, etouffee, and one of my favorites. Just thinking about it makes me excited. It's pecan pie.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. The pecan pie down there, holy cow.
It's different now.
Oh, it's like 2 inches thick and it's a sugar rush.
Right.
And the best depressed come down that sugar just slams you. That's how good it is. So, if for those of you who are watching us on video or seeing us here, we have, Bible Hen says.
Oh, Beeble.
Yeah, Beeble. Sorry.
Man.
Beeble, Bible, potato. But he says, attaboy. Does that speak about who he is?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Just straight at it, right? Attaboy.
Heck yeah.
Let's get after it. Well, thanks for joining us. Glad you're here. And then we have Ashley's got a smiley face for you.
Yeah, I like smiley faces.
Yeah. With some love eyes.
Right.
Got that going on.
Take it.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome everybody. You're listening to KUHSdenver.com. I'm your host, Lowell White. We're at 360 Performance Talk. We bring to you performance issues in the sports world, but also in the business world, because many times my athletes go on to business careers, and they struggle with that. So we don't exclude the business community, but our focus is primarily on sports and sports performance. So that being said, Josh, what is the PFL to you? Why did you join?
And to be honest, it's something that I fell into.
Yeah.
I was signed with World Series of Fighting. They wound up getting some new investors, decided to change the brand, change the whole way they were running things. And with the PFL, they're wanting to run it more as a professional league.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have your regular season, your playoffs, and then your championship. So that's man, it's the money they're throwing around, and I mean most professional fighters, especially in the MMA world,
yeah.
They're not getting paid anything.
And let me just take you back just a second. Did you say that? Did I understand you correctly that the league you're with merged to PFL, or PFL bought them, or is it two separate entities?
No, so it was World Series of Fighting.
Okay.
They got some new owners.
And it became PFL.
Yeah, it became PFL.
Okay, so PFL basically.
So World Series merged.
Gotcha. I want to make sure that's right. So, World Series fans, you're still in it.
That's it.
Stick with it. Keep following them. And Pantelis is watching.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's watching. So you can say, yo, dude, rocking it. And we didn't talk either before he showed up. We're color coordinated here. We're complementary, which is, if you know either one of us at all, that's odd. For us to get it like locked in, it's the roll of the dice.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so we're looking good on that one. So you kind of fell into it. So now you're in it. Is it like fell into it up to your waist in muck, or is you fell into it like opportunity here?
Oh, opportunity, man. That's it's funny. People have been reaching out to me on social media, people I don't even know of, asking, "Hey, how do I get an opportunity? How do I get a shot?" You know, and it's funny, you know, like even with the UFC, it's supposed to be of course, is the largest promotion, has the most money, but they start their fighters out at 10-10.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's 10K and 10K.
Yeah, 10,000 a show, another 10,000 if you win to fight the world's best.
Yeah,
you know, top 50 people in the world. It's chump change. It's after you pay out your 30% to management, coaches. You know, you go home with 7 if you lost. Then you got to pay taxes. Then you got to divide that by the 3-month training camp, and it's like, where's the money to afford a chiropractor? Where's the money to afford all the body work, all this other stuff? You know, so it's cool to be with the PFL where, you know, now I'm in the tournament. If I get that first W, I'm guaranteed 100,000. If I get that second W, guaranteed 200. And then win that third one, there's the $1 million. You know, and for me, it's nice to be at a place where I don't have to worry about, you know, how am I going to afford bills? How am I going to afford?
So how does your training change? I know in the mechanics it doesn't change much, but the mindset that you go into training in preparation for that first match, is it different than when you're in the other scenario where you're constantly thinking about, I may win a amount of money, but I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay this, and there's not much left over for you to bridge to the next fight. So how does this guarantee of that 6-figure number change your approach, your energy, your vigor into going into that match?
Honestly, I don't think it changes much for me, just because it's like anything, just win.
Yeah.
You know, the more you win, the more you're going to make, the more opportunities and doors open. You know, so that's always been the goal in mind.
Yeah.
To one day be able to fight for some real money. So yeah, for me, I don't feel as though it changes. Just win.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of where I'm going with the just win part. You know, there are athletes in my world that, you know, I'm not a big competitor. They're not all that good. You know, I've got a draw here, but, you know, I'm going to go out, do my thing, practice my scrap, you know, and I'll probably get a win. Because you have this mindset.
Right.
I'm here, they're here. That's not what I'm talking about with you, as much as I'm saying, look, in the past, it was, before I got to the ring, I'm thinking about my family, my bills. Now, I know you well enough to know you don't do that. Once you hit the ring in the locker room, you shut it down and zone it in.
Yeah,
but not everybody's that way. Even though they may be really good athletes and have reached fairly high success parameters in their life. So when you talk about yourself, that's one thing. But when you look at the arena of fighters that are in there, does the guarantee of money kind of free them up? Like, I'm just going after this. I mean, they still wanted to win when they came in,
for sure.
But is there an enhanced, like, freedom? Like, take it all. I'm just going for this because when I win, I got money to bring me back.
Right.
It's amazing how technology. I should shut this stuff off, and I don't. Okay, sports fans. Hopefully you're still there with me. Facebook Live. Decline the call. There we are. We're back. We're back again. Okay. Ashley says this to you. She says, remember Josh from MHHS, that's Westminster High School.
Yeah.
Okay. From Eastside Baptist Church.
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's just prompting me. Okay.
Heck yeah.
So thanks, Ashley. Appreciate it. So he does remember. And just not that he would say this, money won't change you. It won't. It really won't. So he'll be the same guy. Just healthier, I guess.
Just healthier, yeah.
So do you see that in some of your colleagues and fellow fighters, that many times when those outside elements of the ring get kind of moved away and off my mind, there's a freer approach to the fight in the ring?
Oh, I'd say, yeah. It's nice to know that you have things taken care of. You don't just takes things off your plate.
Yeah. So you just kind of go after it.
Yeah.
And deal with it. Now I know that's part of who you are anyway. So from your perspective then, talk about the specifics about what's important in your mindset to maintain that, get a win, that champion mindset, go out and win. Are there certain things you want to make sure you execute, certain things you process through when you hit the ring?
I would say by the time I hit the ring, everything's done. I think more than anything, it's the build up, it's the fight camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I gained so much courage, so much confidence by knowing how hard I pushed through it, by knowing what sacrifices I've made, what things I've given up to get and be 100% prepared for that moment.
Let me bring you to a memory then about that, because you had recently a chance to compete with, in training, some really excellent talent.
For sure.
He's a little taller than you, but I don't know about that. Both of us have really been challenged. But how does that quality of prep? Now, I know you've got a routine. You have, like a lot of fighters coming up through the ranks, have had to, borrow a computer to pay Paul, that kind of thing, and been grateful for the benevolence of people that share training expertise with you and their gym and whatever. But now you're at this level, you get a chance to hang with those kind of people and get them to get in the ring with you in your preparation. How important is that, number one, and how is that different than the way you've trained prior to that?
I would say I've been blessed with good training partners. It's been cool, especially for this camp. I've had Curtis Blades and Alistair Overeem, two of the top 5 guys in the world, top heavyweights in the world.
Is Alistair the big tall guy?
They both are.
Who's the one who's got the dark hair?
You're talking about Alistair, who I posted the picture of.
All right.
But Curtis is actually fighting in, I want to say it's Japan coming up. So I think they've got. I think Curtis is ranked number 1.
Nice.
And he's fighting the only guy that he's lost to, which he lost just to a doctor stoppage from a cut over his eye. And so he's wanting to revenge that loss against Francis Ngannou. And so Curtis was over there, and anyone who knows me, they know I really stink at social media. And
no,
man, I don't post unless I got a fight
prompt
coming up.
you.
Oh man, I can't stand it. But whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm definitely more of a personable person. I love the one-on-one.
So that's a backhanded endorsement to go to the fight. Because, he wants to hang with you. So go to the fight. Buy a ticket.
You want to interact?
Exactly. Go to New Orleans.
Come see me face to face.
Exactly. What a great way to put that out there. So what were the primary things you gained from those interactions in the camp with these guys?
Oh, man, just being able to pick their brains, being able to know, it's fun being able to be in there and see the positions where I do well against them. It's good to be in there, feel the positions where they're better than me, and we're all just feeding off each other. So
do you have then, with that training, those processes that you gained from their knowledge and you incorporate into what you do and how you're going to get ready for this next fighter, do you have rituals that you have when you get into a locker room? Are there certain things that you want to do in getting, I've got players in different sports that have a certain pair of socks in the bag, and they put the left one on before the right one, that kind of ritualistic kind of mindset to get their brain constantly channeled into the spot. Do you have any rituals you go through?
Pretty boring.
Yeah.
I don't.
He brings a brown paper bag with a snack in it.
Right.
And some Vaseline for over his eyes. That's about it.
No, man. For me, it's at that point in time, the work's done. And, for me, I actually enjoy competing. Man, I'm at the point in my career where I've had 22 professional fights, and for me, I just enjoy it.
And 22 is a big number because not everybody has that level of numbers. I mean, I'm surprised at how few a number of fighters have for the level they've arrived at.
For sure.
Whether it's UFC or it's PFL or whatever it is, it's like 12 fights, 10 fights, 11, I'm going. And you're at that level of notoriety. Yeah. And so it's just it's just something I have to remember because boxing, I followed boxing when I was a kid. It's 20, 30 fights and all knockouts or something insane. And that represents a good chunk of their life to get to that number of fights. Whereas with the Ultimate Fighters, it's a little different from that perspective. Now, I understand you don't have that many rituals, but what do you, from your experience and talking to your fellow fighters, when they come out of the locker room, now with the Ultimate Fighters, there's like a platform, like a runway to get to the arena, because in most cases it's elevated. And they've got some kind of little dance or something to do, or maybe it's not even a dance, it's just head down, hood on, whatever. There's some kind of panache to it. I'm not even going to talk about yours because there's nothing exciting about it at all. Just who you are.
Just get me in there.
Yes, just get me in there. There's the ring. I'm going to the ring.
Yeah.
Why do you think guys do that?
I think we're all different. Everybody.
No question about that.
People some people are emotional fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Some people need to get all amped up, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's I get my warm up, I get focused and everything gets honed in when I'm in the back warming up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I start feeling it. It's crazy how a lot of times you'll get some nerves going beforehand.
Yeah.
Once I get everything on and I start hitting mitts, moving around in the back, and that's when I get in the zone. And when you watch me go out to the cage, I'm not there trying to high five everyone. I'm not. I'll do that after the fight.
Yeah.
Right then and there, I've got, everything's weighing on that review.
So when you're going through those steps of that process in the locker room, hitting some pads and going through some movement, getting in the zone as you called it, are you thinking about the fighter you're going to fight as you are throwing a phantom punch or hitting a hand pad as to where is that person coming from? What have I seen on film? Is that part of preparation for you too?
I'd say visualize for sure.
Yeah.
I'll always watch film with my coaches. We just try to see what kind of tendencies they have, see where they normally get out of position, where they don't, what strengths and weaknesses, and yeah, absolutely. We'll run off that, and I'll visualize it all the way up till.
Cool. So let's give some props out to your coaches. Give us a lowdown of who your coaches are, the team that entourage, as small as it is, that goes with you to the arena. So tell us who they are.
And so I got my head coach from Trials Mixed Martial Arts in Fort Collins, Ryan the Lion Schultz.
Yeah.
One of the best guys I know. Love that guy. And then I'm so blessed with being able to train so many different places. Down here in Denver, training with the Team Elevation.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot Marshall, Cody Donovan, Vinny Lopez, Christian Allen, getting in with them. I'm back using my old kickboxing coach, Brian Youngs, who runs Denver Muay. No, Denver Thai Boxing.
Okay.
There is a Denver.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah.
Make sure I say it right.
Yeah.
Denver Thai Boxing. Brian's a stud. Love that guy. He's going to be out there with me. And then Genesis Training Center, Jake Ramos running it out there. He's another one of my boxing coaches. And we've got a nice little thing going on.
Nice. How long have you been with your head coach?
Going on 2.5 years now.
Okay. And why did you select him 2.5 years ago?
Some friends of mine told me, hey, you want to start picking up more wrestling, this and that.
Yep.
You need to check this guy out. Went up there. At first, I didn't think he liked me. One thing leads to another. Man, he's one of the most solid guys I know. I don't know. He's a guy that he will outgive. He'll put his body on the line.
Yeah.
He even dislocated his knee, bad kneecap all the way on the side. Got it put back together. Was on the mats with me 3 days later.
Oh, jeez.
His mindset is incredible. He's all, man, this body's just a tool. Yeah, does it bug me? Sure. That's not going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He's incredible.
Well, I only know about his reputation. I've never met him. But one of those is you emphasize it. He's about process. He's about no excuses. Because if you're in charge of the process, you're the one that's controlling it.
Right.
You're the one that turns the switch on and turns the switch off or amps up the volume as you need it. You're in total control, basically.
Right.
So I know from the time I first met you to where we're at today, you become more defined in your physique. I know body management's a big deal for you. What you put in your body is a big deal for you. So in setting up a mindset for you weeks in advance to a fight, how important is the nutritional component for you in as it relates to the training process? Because I know that, especially in your torso, you've trimmed down and toned up a lot in that area. Because you were kind of a roly-poly guy for a while.
Oh, for sure.
You're still badass, but you
Pretty much.
Yeah, you're a pure factor.
No, you're right, man. And to be honest, just being able to fight for real money, it's allowed me to hire a nutritionist.
Yep.
It's allowed me to hire a company to plan out my meals and get those pre-made meals. For me, it's been huge. It's even in the past few weeks, I've dropped 10 pounds of fat.
Mm-hmm.
Just continue to plug away. And by the time October 5th comes around, I want to be the best shape. And feed your body what it needs, not what it wants.
Now, one of the things I've noticed over the years of the mental conditioning training for me, and I'll suggest nutritionists, I'll suggest strength and conditioning people or modifications of those players in the grand scheme of the entourage. There's a mindset change. When you feel that fat go away and you've got more definition in the body tone, muscle response, that kind of stuff, there's a mental adjustment.
Right.
Simply put, I'm quicker.
Yeah.
I feel it. Oh my God, I feel it. Now, what do you do with it? It's one thing to feel it, but then to adjust and adapt and actually take advantage of it.
Right.
Because now you are quicker. Your footwork is better. Lateral movement, the strength of push-off to get into a kick or a submissive hold or whatever the case may be. Have you found that you had some adjustment time for those kind of improvements that you had to kind of, oh my God, it's here. It works.
Well, it's funny how you describe it, just because I can tell the difference when I'm walking around at 275 versus 255. And to me, it's crazy how that at that kind of weight, 20 pounds really isn't that much of a difference. You don't stand up and feel it.
Right.
But it's crazy that 20 pounds when you're moving around for 5 minutes, in and out, side to side, back and forth, going on the ground, getting how much quicker you can pop back up. Don't ask me why, but 20 pounds really isn't that much, but it's crazy how much more agile you are.
Yeah.
Just like you're
Well, I'm gonna bring that back and talk about agility, quickness, and things like that, and how you have taken that mindset of improvement on the things you've done. And speaking of things you've done, and I forget all the time, I forgot to record myself. So I got that done. We're gonna take a little bit of a break and talk a little bit about a couple of things. First, we're gonna talk about Germ Block from AvCare. So everybody, there it is, Germ Block from AvCare. This is what bugs me. Facebook, everything's backwards. It's reversed. So I can show them this, but it's reversed.
Is it?
Yeah. So it says Germ Block on it from avcare.com. That's AVKARE.com. So go take a look at this. This is alcohol free. I like this. My medical professionals love this. They put it on their scrubs and carry it around with them. Being alcohol free reduces the dryness and cracking of fingers, cuticles, and that kind of stuff. But it kills everything. It's a great germ block. Now, this is where Josh and I were talking about this beforehand. I put some on my hands. The other product that I talk about a lot is Empower. Empower Body Care products. Go to empowerbodycare.com and you can order this. This is CBD. This is cannabis based, but does not have the psychotropic impacts of THC in it. So it can be sold to you online and delivered to your house. This is the oil. They have a lotion and a body salt. I love their products because they don't feel greasy. It works. I know from my karate stuff, my hands in particular get just achy sore. It's quick and the impact is very quick. So if you want this, go to the website and then use my code. You get special treatment if you use LW010. LW010. And I'll challenge Josh because I'll text it to him and see if he can actually, look at his text and use it. Social media.
I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, exactly. I'm there for you. So Empower, empowerbodycare.com. Great stuff. As they say, put it where it hurts. Put it where it hurts. All right. So you're listening to KUHSdenver.com. I'm your host, Lowell Whiteman of 360 Performance Talk. Having a great time here with Josh, my pal, Josh Culley Bear Copeland. On October the 5th, just a couple weeks from now, he'll be in New Orleans, competing in a playoff with the Professional Fighters League, PFL, for an ultimate prize of $1 million. That's pretty impressive, especially when you remember what Josh just said a minute ago about most of the fighters that are committed to the leagues, whatever the league is, don't get paid a lot of money. And that's a shame because look, it's a business, it's entertaining, but fighters like yourself, which I'm learning there's more than just a few of you, that are really committed to the sport. It's something you enjoy doing. It's got its risks. You're in this cage.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere, or not very far anyway. But I know from my work with karate and other sports I've both played and I've worked with, it's a commitment. I mean, just watch the video. For those of you who are watching online with us, watch the video of the fight that Josh has with Ivanov versus Copeland. This was pretty, you both got cut up a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, him more than me.
Yeah.
But
and you took a decision on this, right?
No, he got the decision.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What?
Hey.
Yeah. Don't they measure by blood loss?
I wish. No, he's Lagoy, he's a good guy. Yeah, I got to be friends with him afterwards. Got to go train with him, and that was for the World Series of Fighting heavyweight title. And it's a fight that I thought I had, and then
Well, I watched that one on NBC Sports Network. And by the way, we should mention that PFL has an agreement with them and Facebook on October the 5th. It will
Facebook
be on
Watch.
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook Watch and NBC Sports Network. It's 9:00 Eastern Time is when it broadcasts on the 5th of October. Look it up. Obviously, look at my website, 360mindset.com. Got the poster there, so you can take a look at that. It's also on our poster promoting the show for today. So the next piece I want to talk to you about, Josh, is about, okay, so you've got these routines, you've got these processes, you've come to this next fight, and I'm 20 pounds lighter. And I feel it.
Right.
What does that do to your preparation for that fight when you have that new information and you've practiced it, you feel it, you know where it can be utilized? How does that change your fight prep for an athlete? What do you do differently?
To me, I think more than anything, it's just the confidence. It's like, I think one of the best things any athlete can ever do when they go out to perform is just have confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
Believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And I think especially when there's so much riding on it, it's nice to know all the sacrifices you made to put yourself in the best position to go out. And to be able to go out, 20 pounds lighter, being able to know that, hey, if this goes to the second round, I'm going to be fine. If this goes to the third round, I'm going to be fine. There's been times in my life where maybe not because of my conditioning, but when I fought Jan Jorgensen for the RFA heavyweight title, I was number one heavyweight in Colorado, 8-0. He was 7-0, number one heavyweight out of Utah. And the UFC said, hey, winner of this fight's going to go on to, or get the call up to the UFC. Yeah. And so here I am taking on the number one guy. And it was, I want to say, 12 days before that, I wound up checking a leg kick from Pat Barry. And sure enough, I checked it right underneath my kneecap. And he, that just from where it landed, it wound up giving me a 1-2 tear on my MCL, busted a bursa sac and tore a muscle in my leg, and it burned. It was horrible. So there goes. I'm sitting there wondering, should I pull out? Should I not? This and that. And it was crazy going into that fight, knowing that all that guy had to do was throw one outside leg kick, and my MCL would have completely tore. I couldn't even bend my leg up to put my sock. I literally had to finagle it on in a completely different way. Just, anyone that's torn a crucial ligament, there's definitely reasons why they're there.
It's been a few years since I did that. I don't want to do it again.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, and I've had the reconstructive arthroscopic stuff over the years to mend it. That, and that being said, there's with the additional information you have in your head now about where you're at in your body, do you add something more to your routine of those tools you're going to use in the arena? Because with the weight loss, your quickness is there, so you're able to get to a certain kick better and quicker than you had before, and that's going to be more prominent in the play, or you just stick with your prime. It's kind of what he gives you.
Yeah, I mean, you take what you can get.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I'm feeling good. I don't run a lot, but I've been running a mile every day, and I've got my mile down to a 7:24, which I thought's pretty good for a heavyweight.
What are you weighing in at right now?
I was 263 this morning.
Yeah.
So 263, and I am my nutritionist and this food company, and I'm eating a ton.
Are you available to prop the food company? You want to give them a shout out and say,
I can pull them up.
Yeah, just give them a shout out. And as Josh is doing that, want to say hi to G this morning. Good morning. Hope the cuts are going well. Paul Young, love having you with me. Share the love about PFL and my guy Josh here. I know Paul, you enjoy along with Curtis. I just remember the days when I had the Hulk shirt. You guys love the old wrestling routines. Well, here's a new guy right here, PFL, Professional Fighters League. So the food company, who's the food? Give them the props.
So it's Real Food Denver.
Real Food Denver.
And they've been phenomenal. They prep me 4 full meals a day. One basically it's another meal, but it's considered a snack, and they give me, I'd say 2-3 other snacks per day, just of different things, and it's nice the way they plan it out. I give them my training schedule, and they tell me, hey, you eat this here, you drink this there, boom, 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 boom. And it just kind of takes all the guesswork out of, they know how long it takes to digest, and when I'm going to be ready to be able to go hit that next practice.
So are they going to carry forward with you to New Orleans and support you during that time that you're there?
No, I'll once I'm out there, the training's done. Right now I'll be out there eating healthy.
Yeah.
But I'll be flying out on the 30th Sunday.
Yeah.
And so last full day will be next Saturday, and finish eating up through there, and then from Sunday go out there. I always eat good with the coaches.
Yeah.
So that's what's nice about being a heavyweight. I don't have to worry about gotta cut 10 pounds this week, 15 pounds this week.
Bring on the calories.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Go have fun.
Now you're in one of my favorite places. I mean, the food down there, the crayfish, etouffee, jambalaya,
Pecan pie.
oh my God, please. Yes, pecan pie. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So enjoy yourself down there with that. But as I'm saying that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's the expectation of PFL for you from the standpoint of promoting the fight prior to the fight? And how does that play into your preparation for the fight? Do they have expectations for you to be on air and do some promo stuff?
So that, for me, the PFL's been really cool. I mean, this year I've, back in beginning of June 7th, I had the opportunity to fight in New York City at Madison Square Gardens. And they got me out there, doing a lot of different promos, on Sirius XM, and, which I got to go to that studio. And
that's impressive, isn't it?
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They have technology I never even knew existed.
Yeah.
Even from their elevators. Like, elevators with no buttons. It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Where's the man?
Right? And,
who's doing this?
But, end of July, got to fight, Sean Jordan, top 30 guy in the world. I was able to get the W there. So that was out in, Long Island, New York. And same thing, I go out there, boom, they're sending me here, there, and everywhere, going to just do PR stuff, you know, and I really enjoy that. They took me out to Chicago for their event, that I wasn't even filming or fighting on, you know, just to go and just kind of get the word out, got to go out on the streets, hand out some tickets, meet and greet people.
But just remember,
just kind of share.
There's a caution here. Because you and I both have faces for radio. You have to be careful when you bring a camera.
That's right.
You know, extra prep. You know, do something to hide whatever.
Powder me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, more like putty. Yeah.
Putty, yeah.
Build me a new face, would you? No, just kidding. But when you go to New Orleans, have they reached out to you about what to expect for that? Because I'm imagining that might become a surprise if you're trying to stay in the moment, you know, stay in the zone.
Man,
how does that affect you?
It doesn't. That's you know me well enough. I'm easy going. I roll with the punches. You know, and it's, you know, a lot of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fight's a fight. You know, you having that mental aspect ready, this and that. But for me, man, I'm always ready. You never know when you're at the gas station and someone comes up and smacks your wife, or you know, like I mean, we live in a crazy world, you know, and for me, there's so many times where I'm in the back. I just like to keep my mind off it. I like to goof off. I like to have fun, you know, and the coach is like, stop walking around talking to so many people. Get off your feet, this and that.
Yeah,
and
you're
I'm
distracted.
like, hey, when it's time to fight, it's time to fight.
That's what
so right now, I'm just enjoying, I'm fellowshipping, you know, getting to just go love and encourage people.
So Josh, you get in the ring then, you got your style, you know, you're just kind of, I'm walking out there thinking about the fight, getting my thing in the back, you know, getting the vision in there, thinking about who I'm going to fight. You get in the ring, brings you together, touch gloves, blah, 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 all that routine. What would surprise you?
What would surprise you?
Yeah, what would be a surprise to Josh Copeland in the ring? I mean, outside the obvious, he gets a punch in, okay, got it, but
but I expect that.
Well, exactly.
You know.
So what surprises you?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm going to guess fans don't surprise you. They're outside the ring, but I don't see or hear them.
I mean, I would say the only real surprise would be someone doing something completely off the wall. You know, like from running across the ring and doing some jumping kicks or
jiu-jitsu, karate, whatever.
Yeah, you know, and that's I mean, I remember having a fight once, and the guy just comes out, runs at me, and does a Superman punch, and I'm just like, okay, you know, like for me being a counter striker, everything I do is off their movement. I want them to come at me. That was pretty easy to get out of the way of. But there's a lot of heavyweights that just want to stand in front of you and hope theirs lands first, you know, and I'm not that. I'm the more lateral. I'm the more in and out, side to side type person versus just want to stand.
So what have you? So not much is going to surprise you. And in this series of three fights, these are solid players. They're not going to be a lot of surprises.
Right.
They're in it to win it, like you are, and their mind is right to be game tight. So you're not going to probably find a lot of things unexpected. So what has been an addition to your routine that has really improved you? Like I know for a while that you talked to me about footwork, the quickness of your footwork and your foot speed, and you've always been a good lateral mover because of your counter punching capabilities. What about the forward back in that attack mode off of that footwork?
That's and to be honest, that's something I've been working more on. Getting in position to be able to throw more than just 1-2 punches.
Yeah.
See if I can't throw that 2, 3, if not 4 punches. And it's funny. I'll say as I sit here and think about what surprises me. The cool thing about the PFL is how there's 12 of us that started out, and now there's only 8 of us. But the fun thing about the PFL is that all 12 guys have were guaranteed 2 fights. So, not only, so the 2 regular season fights are, that's where you earn your points, earn enough points.
Get into the 8.
Get it, exactly. And the fun / different dynamic aspect about it is you're out there, you know who your opponent is, but you don't know who you're fighting next. So you're out there just laughing, goofing off with these guys.
Yeah.
Before you know, oh shoot, we just got matched up. Now we go from being friends to, oh man, now it's time to get serious.
Surprise.
And it's kind of like, it's funny, I'm out there fighting Sean Jordan.
By the way, I've just been informed that he's an LSU guy.
He is.
So you have some friends of both of you that are disappointed that you beat an LSU guy.
Well, I'll say what's funny is my wrestling coach, Ryan Schultz, he wasn't able to get out there until, I'll say it was the day of weigh-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And, he shows up and he's like, man, what'd you do today? And I'm like, we went to the grocery store and, went and got Sean some groceries, this and that. And he's all, you got your opponent groceries the day before you're fighting? And I'm like, yeah, I was going anyways, might as well, and, it's funny for me just cause I literally fight just for the competition. Yeah. I have no ill will for the other person. Hey, if I win, I'm thankful and blessed for me and my family. If they win, good job. I know I went out, gave it my all, but I'm happy for them and their family.
Well,
and same thing with Sean. Like, man, we go out there, we go to battle. I win a unanimous decision, and blessed in that regard. And that night we're out getting dinner together. Next morning, getting some breakfast together. And I already texted him. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna be out there because he still lives in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'd love to see you. And he's like, man, absolutely. Hit me up while you're out here. Let's go out.
That to me, that's a sign of not only a competitor but a champ competitor. Presuming that you have the other stuff behind you, right. The mindset that you have. But David Woolsey says hello, and I'm sure Sean is out there as well. Looking forward to seeing it on October the 5th.
I'll say David's been behind me since before I was anyone. He's sponsored me, hooked me up with gloves, hooked me up with anything and everything awesome. That I needed. And he's a great guy.
Good.
And possibly he lives in Texas, but it sounds like he's going to try to come out for the fight too.
Well, that's awesome. So, well, David's hooking in today. He's watching this right now.
Yeah.
So let me take not a break so much as just a pause and say, next week for us, we're going to be on location downtown on Blake Street at Sports Column, the sports bar. As we always are, KUHS Denver, doing innovative things and staying on top and ahead of both technology and the competition. Bringing to great people like Josh Copeland. If you want some insights about what I do, check out my website at 360mindset.com. and participate in looking at the videos I've got there about my philosophy and ideology about sports performance and just being a better person and finding strategies on how to do that. Because there are moments, in the tough world we live in, that you're faced with obstacles that are hard to get around and are immovable. Kind of like a Josh Copeland in the middle of the ring. So we're gonna have that happening next week on next week's show. So tune in to watch us from downtown. I think we're going to be on the roof. If the weather cooperates, we'll be on the roof garden of the sports column, and we're going to kick off some really great programming ideas going forward, so that we can bring you more personalities and characters and messages about sports performance. So our last segment of every show is about performance results. Now, that's not the prize, it's not the $1 million, it's not the medal. Performance results are about the environment you're in and the processes you use. So we've talked about pre-fight, even pre-fight, getting to the fight, simple guide, get after it, get me in the ring, I'm in it to win. That's the kind of mentality. But in the ring, it's a circle, and it's got these walls with doors that lock.
Yeah. Not
a lot of space to maneuver in. So what's your process just from the standpoint of movement? Do you, like me, I'm a math mind, I was math teachers, I would cut that circle up into pieces.
Right.
And find my angles, and if he comes at me this way, I'm going to do this. Are you thinking that calculated?
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
You're right. You're in that confined area. It's very important to know where you are. If a guy comes charging at you, you got to know if you have space to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you do and you don't, that punch is coming. You're going to wind up eating that. So the spatial awareness is huge. Understanding and knowing how to cut off the ring to be able to get your opponent with their back against the cage, so that they only have east and west to go versus, I guess it could always go north. But, take away one of their angles.
Now I know in pre-show you talked about Ivanov and that mat or the lack thereof, very slippery.
Yep.
Was that a surprise to you? And does that affect you in the way your mindset works in the fight?
It does, and it messes with me for sure.
Yeah.
It's just because, anyone who knows me or has trained with me knows that one thing that my body loves to do is sweat.
Yeah.
So when they put these plastic, basically a tarp down with a pad underneath it, it's like, and especially with how bloody, Vaseline and sweat, we're on ice skates. And to me it's frustrating when you're wanting to perform, you're wanting to get up, you're wanting to be able to charge forward and you feel that foot slip.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. One thing I give the UFC props for is the canvas that they use is an actual canvas. That sweat drips, it literally soaks into the mat.
And it's got a grit to it too, I understand. There's a little bit of, some texture, but you can actually feel it and get some footing on it.
It's basically like a cloth.
Yeah.
And I want to say the reason they said was their relationship with NBC Sports is they need a canvas that by the time the next fight comes around, they're able to get in there, wipe up all the blood so that you can't see it. But when it comes to being able to perform and wanting to be able to maneuver, do what you need to do, it's a huge disadvantage.
So, Josh, what do you do to adjust? In that situation, what did you find yourself doing to try to adjust to it?
They're in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
So it's to me it's on the promotion to equip us with the best equipment so that we can go out and put on the best show that they can. To me, you watch me slide around on ice. It stinks for me, but that's more embarrassing for the promotion. It's like, you should probably do something.
So in that situation in particular, but just in general, when you have things like that happen, I'm believing that you're the guy that turns it into a positive. How can I use this to my benefit rather than dwelling on the reality of something being not so good?
Have to.
Yeah.
But in the same aspect, it's tough to train for that too, because you're not just going to go
let's
out
throw
on
some
ice.
water on the mats at practice.
Well, and even the mats at practice, they're grooved.
Yeah, they're going to drain out. Yeah,
And it's there's at least some sort of traction where that's wet, Vaseline, blood, and it's just a flat plastic.
Yeah. I just reminded of Gale Sayers. Remember who Gale Sayers is?
Sure.
Okay. A lot of guys here don't remember Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers played for the Chicago Bears, epic football player. Only recently left us a few years ago. But people were amazed at how well he handled moist turf, like rain, snow, ice, that kind of stuff, and how agile he was on turf. And somebody asked him, this is way before the days of sports performance and psychology and all that kind of stuff. And Gale had an answer like we did. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to make the best cut I can. I'm in it to make the best yardage I can. They said, well, how did you adapt and adjust to the muck? He says, I run on the edges of my feet. I turn my feet into skates rather than into a flat surface. And then the next question out of the writer's mouth is, well, don't you think that's detrimental to your ankle? He says, like I care. I got more yardage. I scored touchdowns. They couldn't cut with me.
Right.
So he adapted and adjusted to that. So when you're faced with adapting and adjusting in the ring, how important is it that you do that quickly?
Oh, you have to. I mean, everything you do, it's about reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you might prepare for them to come out being a righty, and they might come out as a southpaw.
Yeah.
And it's that's what's nice about experience. That's what's nice about. It's not my first rodeo. I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
You're able to have seen a lot of things.
When you are in the ring now at this level of, it just is really great. The gusto of the success with this is just awesome for you. But when you get in the experience that you had in your fighting career, what are some either kicks or punches that you've got to get yourself ready for? That you're looking for certain things that I want to make sure I'm prepared for this. Because I know for me, when I'm in the ring when I'm on a mat with karate, it's jump front kicks when people get off their feet and do a spin and kick. To me, that tends to make me a bit nervous.
Right.
And I tend to attack it rather than try to avoid it, which is somewhat detrimental to me because I get a knee in my head instead of a foot because I go into it. So what are some things that you do strategically to, when you see something coming, that you have a kind of a patented thing you do to move away from it?
For me being a counter striker, I have to control the range. I have to be where that guy can't reach out and touch me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be where he's a step away from touching me.
Okay.
Just because a lot of people, I'm not timing someone's hands. I don't care if they're throwing the kick. I don't care if they're throwing a punch, whatever. No matter what, to touch me, they have to take that step.
Yep.
So what I'm timing is that step, that movement.
Gotcha.
So at any point in time, I see them jump and try to do something goofy. I just take an extra step backwards.
Okay.
Or angle off.
Now, do you use any of your movement to set somebody up to get into that place?
Always. That's if you watch enough of my fights, you'll notice how a lot of the times I'm stepping backwards.
Yep.
And the whole time I'm going backwards, all I'm doing is timing, and calculating, understanding how their movement is, how they're stepping. Just because everybody steps differently. Some people plot, some people, take big steps, small steps, this and that. It's all about getting the timing of that person. And to me, it's if they're a step away and I'm timing their step, well, I know that if they're stepping at me, I know that 90% of shots are coming right here in my face.
Yeah.
So all I do is, if they're a step away, as I time that step, I just move my head and throw it.
Yeah, I've seen your counter punches from that. They just look like I don't want to get in the way of that. Because I've seen you do this, and a right hand is coming as you move.
Yeah.
And I've seen the results of that too on the opponent. That's a powerful combination you've got there. And I know that you're known to be one of the best counter punchers and strikers in the field of fighting. So I'm gonna wrap up here real quickly. but I wanted to emphasize that the skill that you have and the techniques you have, even if somebody knows it's coming, it's still really hard to avoid.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and the same thing is true of the opponents you're going to face. If they're a kicker versus a puncher, or whatever the case may be, it's going to be a fun time. So I'm going to encourage everybody again, October the 5th, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC Sports Network. Check out Josh Cuddly Bear Copeland on the PFL, the first PFL playoff. This is the first time they've run the playoffs.
And keep in mind, it's the quarterfinals and semifinals are going down that same night.
Nice.
So the quarterfinals fight it's a 2-rounder.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're running that is if it goes the distance, and say I win the first round, my opponent wins the second round, the judges will go back and see whoever won the first round. So to me, it adds a whole new dynamic. I actually like that because number one, you're no matter what win the first round.
Yeah.
So there's going to be fireworks. And number two, if you know you lost the first round, you know you have to come out and finish that second round. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, and it makes a point to the fans: don't miss the first round because the fireworks will be there. And then if your guy has the fireworks but doesn't get the first round, he's coming for the second round. So it's going to be an entertaining night. I'm going to give you a commitment on the air right now. You make it to New York, brother, I'm going to be there. Yeah. I'm going to be there. And I don't know if I have my camera and gear with me, but I'm going to be there. Maybe both. But I'm going to commit to you that I'll be there to watch what goes down. Whether you win the $1 million or not, it's still a payday. And it's a big step for your career and success in the ultimate fighting, and I hate to say it that way, the fighting career you have, whether it's a PFL or UFC or whatever it is. I wish you all the best, as you know. You're listening to KUHSdenver.com. I'm Lowell Whiteman, your host of 360 Performance Talk. We're here every Friday, 11 a.m. in the wonderful state of Colorado. Today we're talking to Josh Cuddly Bear Copeland. Wish him the best of luck. And to do that, tune in to see him take on his opponent on October the 5th at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, or 7 o'clock here in wonderful Colorado. He's in New Orleans for the fight. Wish him your best, send him your best, and by all means watch, or better yet, you want to talk to him? Show up. Go to the fight. And,
let's be friends.
Exactly. Yell at him. He's got one of the best logos on the planet. I love the Cuddly Bear logo. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Have a great, great weekend in Colorado. We're going to give you a little bit of music. We're going to give you what we ended with Earth, Wind, and Fire as we tune it on and say goodbye for you today. Have a great day. See you, everybody.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.